Well, how's everyone doing? Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy weekdays to hang with us and learn more in depth about what we're doing here at Food Social. Makes me so happy to see everyone here. Oh, and Penny was able to make it. She wasn't sure if she'd be able to. Let her connect. Hi, Penny.
Penny's here.
Hey,
Yay.
Penny.
Well, for those of you who haven't joined a town hall before,
Hi,
this is
everyone. Sorry.
Hey, Penny.
I think she said she was going to listen while she was working, so we won't bother you, Penny. Well, we will, but you don't have to answer. So these town halls are just a chance for us to talk really openly about, the previous quarter and the next quarter, what our plans are, short and long term, and to get your feedback on everything that we're working on. Because as we love to say, we are building in public. And that means that you have a seat at the table, you have a voice, whether you're a brand or a creator. We want to know what you think, and we need your help. So here we are. First of all, welcome to our new creators and brands. Priya, you are here. Do you want to take a moment to tell us a little bit about Anar Gourmet Foods?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Priya. I'm the founder.
Oops.
Oh,
They
you're muted,
muted.
Priya.
There we go. Hi, everyone. Take two. I'm Priya Osuri. I'm the founder and owner of Anar Gourmet Foods, and I make Indian seasoning kits with easy family recipes. We have fresh ingredients you need list and step-by-step directions that you just can't mess up unless you don't follow directions, but then that's on you. So, but you can always be creative with the seasonings because they're just seasonings. You can apply it to whatever you want. So check out my website. It's gotten all 5-star reviews, which I'm really happy about because this is like a labor of love for me.
We're so happy to have you, Priya.
Thank you.
Shout out to our new brands that have just joined. I mean, Priya also in the past week and a half, I would say. And other brands that just joined are Nana Joe's, Lakanto, and Color Kitchen Foods. Also, a special shout out to Colleen for bringing on Lakanto and Color Kitchen Foods. Superstar over here. So
And
we're really, go
and
ahead.
Michelle Daniels for bringing on Nana Joe's.
Yes. Way to go, Michelle. So exciting to see our community continue to flourish, and we can't do it without all of you. Another shout out I want to give when talking about new people is Cole. Cole, do you want to introduce yourself? He's a member of the Food Social team, and he's also a rock star.
Okay, sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Cole. Um, I've been helping Food Social out for on and off for the past year, but especially involved over the past few months. So I just wanted to take the time to introduce myself, a little bit of background on me. I worked in the music industry for 10 years, signing and managing artists, running a music discovery community, and writing and editing articles mainly. Um, Besides my love of the music itself, the things I enjoyed the most really had to do with the intersection of two things, which was building community around a shared passion and using new tech to create better spaces for both that community and for the shared passion. So that's why I really identify with Food Social. Um, kind of like the musician's current struggle, the major tools currently available for creators of almost any sort, especially recipe creators, are generally exploitative, oversaturated, mentally and emotionally damaging, and can really stifle creativity and passion. Um, so, I'm working to try to create tools that work for the most passionate creators like yourselves, built with you in mind and at the steering wheel, participating in the way that they're shaped and being fairly compensated for doing so. Um, what I'm actually doing here is I'm mainly working with the team across the board, from things like community building strategies to platform design to back end organization and operations, and crafting the monthly Food Social Bites emails that you get in your inbox. And full disclosure, I'm also Tony's son, so I am a Nepo baby, in fact. But I hope you don't hold that against me. And if anyone would like to connect outside of this call, please feel free to send me a Slack. Would be happy to chat with anyone here, but happy to be here. Thanks, Pooja.
Thank you,
Welcome,
Cole.
Cole.
Thanks, Dad.
Another person that I'd love to introduce is Danielle, but Michelle, I want to give you the honor of introducing her.
Okay. Speaking of Nepo, I guess, Cole. Danielle is my sister. She's my baby sister, I will say, because I am definitely older than her. But she got the lion's share of so many things in our family, but she is on board helping us, Pooja and I, get our podcast recordings edited because she's pro like that. So Danielle, go ahead and share who you are, your background, and why you're overall amazing.
Well, let's just say, and I'm also my sister's biggest fan. So it kind of goes back both ways. We tend to be each other's greatest fan and biggest supporter and confidant. So if you
And we
guys
live
want the
2 doors-
dirt,
2 doors away from each other. She built a home 2 doors down from us.
Yeah.
From me. So anyways, we're very close. So
yeah. Hi, I'm Danielle. I am Michelle's baby sister. I am doing the editing for the Food Social podcast, and for me, it's a lot of fun. You know, I've been doing, editing and with video and audio for a long time. I actually have a broadcast production degree in it. And when I got out of TV, I was a broadcast production and promotion manager for a WB network, for those of you who remember that. It went under 3 months after I left, but I'm sure that has nothing to do with me. But anyways, I remember I worked for the Frog, exactly. I
she
even
won
have a
many,
plaque up there.
she won Froggy Awards, many of them.
Yeah, I have a Froggy Award up there. Anyways, but then I stopped doing that. Well, but I still do it because, you know, you kind of always do it. But I got out of TV and I started working with empowerment tools and teaching classes and doing my own audio and video and that kind of stuff. And so when they were talking about doing, you know, having more podcasts out there, and also I did radio with my mother since I was 12. So she did a health talk show for 27 years. And I produced it for her, ran the board for her and all that kind of stuff. So this has been in my blood for a long time. And so when Michelle and Pooja were talking about doing this, and I'm like, well, hey, if you ever need help, let me know. Because I really enjoy the energy of this company. It's exciting, it's empowering, because everything I do is about empowering. And I'm like, you guys are awesome because you're actually trying to empower each other, not compete with each other, and bringing more awareness and more possibilities to everybody. So when they were like, hey, you want to get involved? I'm like, yes, please. And so I've been listening to the podcast that you guys have been on, editing them, and I've had so much fun. So I just want to say thank to each one of you as well for being the amazing that you are and the information you bring out to the world. So I love influencers I can point at and go, I heard them on a show. They're pretty cool. You should check them out. So
Colleen, she
that's it.
edited your episode, and Allie, yours as well.
Mhm. So that's me.
Thank you, Danielle. I just have to brag on her for just one sec. She has been so incredible and has the best attitude and has just made this whole process with the podcast so much fun and so seamless. And so the three of us as a team, I feel like we have it down pat now, and it just feels so fluid, and we are so thankful for you, Danielle.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited to be a part of it and watch it grow. I may have some ideas, so let's see
We're
what
all
we can
ears.
create. Thank you.
Well, now let's chat about just some quick community updates. In Q1, we had our Super Bowl contest, and congrats to once again to our winners. So first place was Autumn from Whole Food for 7. Second place was Katie from Caked by Katie. Third place was Matt from Glass of Weinstein. And then the creator vote went to our very own Allie from Allie's Appetite. Congratulations, Allie.
With everyone.
And in the spirit of as fun as it is has been to do competitions in the spirit of kind of having like a collective goal and something we're all participating in together without having to worry so much about the competitive aspect. We introduced an ingredient of the month challenge. So now every month we'll introduce like a seasonal ingredient or something like that, and you just incorporate it into your recipes. And it's just a fun way for us all to experiment with different vegetables or fruits and, I don't know, just participate in something together. And it's not competitive, it's collaborative. And this month is radicchio. So if you haven't already, you should create a recipe with radicchio and upload it to FoodSocial. And we have a page actually, we can drop it in the chat, that has more information about the ingredient of the month challenge, but it's not a competition or anything. Again, it's just a way for us all to have fun together. Oh no, well, we have a backup actually. I always say it incorrectly, so I'm not going to say what it is, but it's
Just channel your inner Ina Garten. Come on.
is it endive?
Undi
Endive.
endive.
I say endive, but I'm not French, so maybe it's endive. Endive.
So we had a backup in case people couldn't find radicchio. So thank you, Ali. Yeah, so you can still participate even if you can't find it. But we want to see your creations, so be sure to upload those. And now Michelle is going to talk a little bit more about the podcast.
Here we go. So with, well, first off, season 1 officially kicked off today because we had our first, did I say season 1? Sorry. I swear I'd say I'm still waking up because I feel like I've been running since I woke up this morning. Season 2 officially kicked off today with the episode with Kayla. I'm gonna say her last name wrong. Capiello. Okay. So the artwork's changed a little bit just to make a little bit of a small significant change to the artwork so we can kind of differentiate a little bit. So off we go. And we've moved with Danielle coming on board, we can get through them faster. And so we are dropping them once a week now. So for any and all that would like to be on the show as a guest, it's very low key. Colleen, Allie, you've been on with us. We're pretty easygoing to talk to, and it's just an hour. Like we're 2 friends sitting around, or 3 sitting around a coffee shop, just sharing and talking about food. So very excited, and we feel like we have such a great cadence now that we're just having a lot of fun. So,
And it's not live, it's super low pressure. Is that what you're about to say?
Yeah, and Danielle edits out all of our, redo that. Like it's very, since it's not live, we have a lot of flexibility because sometimes internet drops, sometimes it's, little things like that. But really excited to we're hoping to have even more episodes per season now because of all the tools that we have in our little podcast toolbox now. So I think that's it. Am I missing anything? Pooja,
No,
Danielle?
that was great.
Okay.
And
Please
Allie,
join. Yes, join in,
Well,
listen.
Can I add in?
Yes.
I'm not a food creator. I'm related to one, so I get to test a lot of stuff.
Yes, she
But
does.
the shows are actually just entertaining and fun and informative. So
Yeah.
in my humble opinion, I think they're really good even for people who aren't looking for recipes but just want more information. And so, yeah, don't hesitate because it's fun.
Thank you.
if you haven't listened before, the first question that we always start out with is, what was your earliest food memory and how old were you? And what's really fun about that is it allows us to work together to paint a picture of like where you started and how it got you to where you are. And we do it on your terms. And we talk about, like, we let you lead the conversation. We come prepared with questions. We don't always get to them because we want you to lead the conversation and we want to talk about what.
It's very organic. We come up with a few questions just because we don't want dead air, but we never have any, and we rarely get through all the questions because it's a very organic conversation, much like you'd have with a friend and pivoting to what's brought up. So,
oh, I love that, Dee. That like warms my heart. Okay. Any questions about the podcast? Anyone who's interested in being on the podcast, drop something in the meeting chat here and we will reach out because we would love to have you. Yes, Priya, we would love to have you on the podcast. Now Allie is going to talk about our happy hours.
Hello. So the happy hours were actually an introduction. Thank you to Cole. And we've been having them weekly now for almost 2 months. I think we started in the very beginning of March, and we've had about over 20 or around 25 creators join over the course of those weeks. So it's been really exciting to just start something new from the ground up and build it together. And it's really just meant to foster a sense of engagement with the community, be a chance for us all to sit back and have like casual conversation. The only structure we really have is we provide a couple updates for anything that's relevant on a weekly basis. But it's really just a laid back time to connect, build connections, and just interact with people in a way in the community that maybe you wouldn't have a chance to do so otherwise. So Pooja likes to incorporate like a weekly win. So it's a great time to just celebrate each other, talk about what we've been up to, maybe go off on a couple of tangents. Last week, I think we were talking about like our favorite celebrity run-ins or like celebrity like dreams of people to meet. Bill did a Lightroom demo on one of them. We just talk about anything and everything that comes to mind. So nothing's off limits, but we really just want it to be a place that you feel comfortable connecting with everybody. And we've had a couple creators come on a weekly basis. I know Michelle comes on a weekly basis, Morgan, Colleen, you've dropped in there a few times, Priyanka, Jesse, Reed, Maria. I know they're not all on the call and I'm sure I'm missing a few names, but it's been really fun to build this and just looking forward to having that time on a weekly basis. And it's quickly become like one of my favorite things to look forward to week over week. So if you haven't joined us, I hope you'll consider coming in the future. We'd love to have you. And if you've been coming, thank you for coming. Would anybody that's on this call like to just say like a quick anything about your experience on the happy hour or what you enjoy about them?
You should come for the soundboard that Allie
That's what I was
does,
going to say.
no matter what, because
I'm
Allie's
just
in
that.
charge of all the sounds that go on. So that's
So many good
That's
sounds. We should be running a
Hilarious.
soundboard for this.
Yes.
They're definitely really fun and they're a good like kickoff to your weekend. Like it's like drinking like a feel-good smoothie. It's like that. Like you're just going with like a bunch of really good people and it's just a really fun thing. If you have not gone, you should go.
yes.
And it's so fun to share our wins. I find myself throughout the week, I'm like, what do I want to talk about on Friday? Like, what's my win this week? And so it's fun to do that together. And Allie, do you want to chat about creator resources?
Sure. So one of my goals over the past few months has really been just to kind of look at the resources that we have in place and the resources that can be created to support creators and brands alike. So we've worked really hard as a team to put together resources that will be valuable to you and really just help you feel supported from day one to day forever on the platform. So we have a creator resource hub and a brand resource hub. The resource hubs right now are linked directly on your portal. So if you go to your portal page, you should see it up at the top. And if you've joined FoodSocial recently, you've probably seen it in some of our newer onboarding emails as well. But they have many different resources in them, anywhere from FAQs to how-to libraries with different resources. If you've already uploaded some of your recipes, you're probably familiar with that, but definitely still take a look at that hub. There's a lot of great information in there. It also talks about meal plans, what they're designed for, how you can utilize them, talks about posts, how you can utilize those. And they're really just meant to be resources that can support you. And there's also like a best practice document. But we'll continue to look at them and figure out how we can continue to support everyone's success on the platform. If you ever have any ideas on additional resources that would be really helpful to you, please don't hesitate to reach out to anybody here. But we'd love to hear from you on what would really make you feel supported. So hopefully these are something that you find valuable and find yourself checking out from time to time.
And if there's ever anything that you think of that you would like to see available as a resource, please let us know. Now Bill is going to talk about some tech updates.
Cool. Gonna go blue for tech. Okay, so my turn for show and tell. I'm just gonna go through some quick sort of stuff. These are things that we implemented in Q1. And some of these you might know about. I think a few people on these, everybody knows about some of these. I don't think everyone knows about all of them. First, there's a multi-recipe importer on the recipe upload page. And so if you are putting your recipes on your blog first, and your blog has a recipe plugin on it that has some sort of schema, you can use this multi-recipe upload tool. And right now it's just a Google form where you can give us, your name and let's see, where is it? Oh, right here. You paste in your URLs one by one here, and we run an importer on them. It's a nice way to just get drafts really quickly populated in your account. We are working on something that's more self-service for Q2. It's kind of in the final month where you'll still go to this page. You'll go to the recipe uploader page. This top part will look a little bit different. We haven't really fully built it out yet, but you'll be able to paste in your URLs, and it will run on some sort of not completely synchronous interval where you'll put them in and within 5, 10, 15 minutes, they'll be populated as drafts. The one thing about that is that if the ingredients don't sync up, we still need to clear those pending ingredients. So there will be more on that later. Second update is that we implemented an Instacart shopping on recipes. And so all of the recipe pages now on the platform have this get ingredients with Instacart. You can click that, and it's super cool for the end users because it pulls up all of the grocery stores near them and pulls in the ingredients for the recipe. So it's a nice way for you to communicate this with your followers that, hey, you can shop these recipes seamlessly on my FoodSocial profile. We also implemented a better user registration process. I don't have a demo for that. It's done a few things for us, which is really cool. One is that it's allowed us to just more seamlessly get people registered, whether they're a creator, a brand, or a user, which we refer to as home cooks on the platform. It's also allowed us to get more newsletter subscribers. We added about 500 in March alone, which is a really nice number. So we're hoping that that just makes it ultimately easier for your followers to ultimately follow you on the platform and use all these amazing features. Another thing that we implemented probably earlier in the quarter was a mobile nav. And so I'm going to compress this window here. Hopefully it works out. Are you guys able to see those buttons at the bottom? So on a mobile device, this makes FoodSocial more friendly for navigation using these destinations that are more common for users, whether going back to the home, meal plans. This center one is usually the highest value. So just getting people to click and go to the recipe page here too. I believe we also went to a 2-column format on mobile during that time period as well. So that was a really nice thing to implement. And then finally, no demo for this one either, but we went to instant recipe publishing. So if you're sharing a recipe that doesn't have any pending ingredients, you can publish it on demand. We got lots of feedback in the middle of the quarter that people were loving that. If you have any issues around publishing recipes on the platform, just keep letting us know either via email or in Slack. One thing that we're trying to think about is how drafts are handled on the platform and how we can best help people get drafts to published recipes. So always sort of looking for feedback on that as well. And that's all I have on that. That's my current show and tell. I'll have more show and tell on Q2 in a little bit. And now, Tony, if you'd be so kind to share some of our operational stats from Q1.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, Bill has a lot of show and tell with development work. We've probably been busier on the development front than we've ever been this quarter, which is really cool because there'll be all sorts of neat features coming ahead. And one of them, the key thing we look at are how many recipes are on the site from creators. And in 24 so far, our recipe count has increased about 25%. I think it's about 830 recipes with another 100 in drafts. So 930 recipes already this year, which has been phenomenal. And we want to continue to just make that whole process as easy as it can. Bill mentioned pending ingredients, and that's one where it is a little harder because those ingredient characteristics are so important to FoodSocial and getting the right filters implemented. And so that does take a little, but we'll continue to automate that and make it easier for you all. We also we had those recipes this year were from 65 creators and brands, which is a fantastic number. That's basically almost half of the population of creators and brands that uploaded new recipes during the year, which is really what we're after is engagement from all of you. Let's see, the community we had as far as sort of consumers or users, home cooks, whatever you want to call them. So far this year, we've had 221,000 people that have been on the site, which is, I think it's somewhere around 350% greater than last year. So it's a fantastic increase, and we're really on a path. Right now, we're looking at least 1.1 million in the year users, but the likelihood is that we're going to really surpass that because all of you. And so that's a really fantastic place to be for the first quarter. And then as Pooja had mentioned before, some of the new brands, that is actually something I know you've probably heard Bill talk about our strategy focusing on the creator first. And the creator is making the best home for the creator. That's what we've been really focused on. And then a next phase is actually bringing brands on, like our wonderful brand here today, Priya. And so we want to actually bring those brands into the community now. And you'll see us really increasing that part of the community going into the second half of the year as we've now continued to, improve the feature set for the brands. I think that, the other thing I was going to mention I know most of you are aware, but in our path of building in public, which we like to do, which means that we really are very transparent, is we rolled out during the quarter the new reporting through Looker Studio, which I believe most of you have seen. We will continue to improve that and get you more and more data. March is going to be the first month where we're utilizing that data with respect to the creator payouts. So that email, it is taking a little bit longer as we're just going through the reporting, but we will be getting those out via email this week, and then payments will go next week as well. So with lots of exciting things, I guess. Data is really, as we grow, it's more and more important. And, the simpler we make it and the more access you have to your own data is really what we're all about. This is your home here. So that's what I have from my side.
Cool. All right, I think it's back to me now on the schedule. So now moving into Q2, things that are brand new and things that we have planned for this quarter. The first, which is really cool, Tony and I have been working on this for pretty much the entire year so far, is a commerce integration for brands. And the V1, which is just recently opened to brands in the last week, is it's for brands that currently sell on Shopify. And so it's technically a Shopify Connect, but it will allow us to have a different sort of presentation of those products through FoodSocial. It will make for a more streamlined purchasing of those products. Currently, it's just a Shopify thing, and there's a little bit of fine print on it. But essentially, brands that are coming in now who are currently selling through Shopify, we're going to onboard them through that process. We're calling it FoodSocial Market. And we will be working on that as we move forward through the year. Another thing that we have planned for this quarter, and we are in the early stages of designing this one, so maybe it's end of Q2 into Q3, but a customized home feed on the platform so that your followers, when they follow you on FoodSocial and they come back to the platform, they're going to be able to see content that they've missed from creators and brands that they follow on the platform. This is a very important feature for FoodSocial because this is the thorn in our side from other places which shall not be named, that you go and follow people on these platforms and yet you're not shown the content of the accounts that you follow. We're doing things differently here. So we're going to have a customized home feed based on follows, and it will expand to have suggested content based on things that you viewed. We would welcome input along the way as we implement this. You're all, I would consider you all to be power users of other platforms. You're not just users, but you're creators too. And so who better to help influence how that's built than our community of creators and brands. So we will have ample opportunities to seek feedback from our amazing community as we build that. Something that started in Q1 but will roll into Q2 is we had an amazing opportunity being a part of Alpha Lab here in Pittsburgh, where in January we were able to connect with Pitt University and participate in their capstone program for their computer science students in their senior year. We had 4 students involved throughout the semester, and we had them working on a couple areas of focus. And Dee, who's on the call here, has been a part of that, helping to guide that group. And so I was hoping that Dee could talk a little bit about what she saw and participated in through that group. And I'll do a little bit of a screen share of the early version of these features. I'll just say they're very shaggy and duct tapey right now. They have not, so don't view them through the lens of these are designed beautiful features. It's really just early functionality, but I'd love to give you a view of something that's in a different stage of development. So.
All right. Oh, thank you, Bill. I also want to call out that Tony has been, really important part of that team to provide structure, and also making sure, the students, they're great. They're great, by the way, and they're young and they bring in a lot of energy. So there were a lot of ideas on the table, but eventually we went with kind of 3 core ideas. And Bill, are you starting with the recommendation?
Yeah.
Showing Okay, so the first one is recipe recommendation. So something similar to what you might see on Amazon. If you buy a product, it'll recommend more products, as you scroll down, which might interest you. So this actually existed, but the recommendations prior to this enhancement were like just latest recipes on the platform, and didn't really look at the recipe above and see if there were any similarities. But now it's being powered by an outside kind of search or recommendation engine, and they'll actually show recipes similar to the recipe the person is viewing. So that, and one key thing that comes out of it is stickiness. People, users stay on your platform longer because they'll look at multiple other recipes. The assumption is if they're looking at something, let's say peanut butter related, they would like to see more recipes with that ingredient. So a really cool feature now to have, and much more relevant recommendations.
Okay.
All right.
Next one.
Would you like to go to the notifications, Bill?
Yes.
Right. So again, this one is, it's really important for, user attention and bringing users back to the platform, kind of similar to notifications you might see on Facebook or other social media platforms that you're on. So based on, let's say I'm a user and I follow Michelle. So every time Michelle uploads a new recipe, I'll get a notification in this notifications panel. Also, for me, let's say as a creator, if someone new follows me, I will get a notification. If someone, posts a comment on my recipe, I will get a notification. So both from a creator and kind of like a user perspective, this is a great way of kind of bringing people back on the platform, and also kind of providing for creators. I think it's like providing kind of that encouragement that hey, people are looking at our recipes and they're engaging with the recipes, and so you're getting these notifications.
And so this one will be, also just to say a little bit more, this one will be paired with an optional email digest that users can get on the platform too, to help them not only engage with the content and the creators, but then they'll get a digest maybe once a week where, you know, these 5 creators that you follow shared new recipes, and you can come back and see them too. It'll give them the tools to be able to fine tune what they want to receive. But we think that that's also an important part of getting a little bit more retention on the followers that you're bringing to the platform. Okay, and then
Nice.
the search.
Third, so this is something I think, Bill, as you've mentioned, a lot of people have asked for, improved search on the platform, and also just looking at the current search results of what people have been looking for. This is kind of like an enhanced and advanced search feature, and it's powered by something called Algolia, which is like a search engine. Something really cool about this is it's instant search. So as soon as you start typing, things will start popping up. You don't have to type the whole thing, press enter. And also it kind of, you can search through multiple, I guess, attributes. You can search by obviously the recipe name. You can also put in things like, let's say you have 2 or 3 ingredients, gluten-free flour and chocolate. What can I make with those? So it'll pop up recipes which have those 2 ingredients. You can also search by creators. You can search by dietary preferences. And also it has some additional features. Like if you go to the creators page, there will be a search bar on that too. So for certain creators like Penny and Michelle, who have so many recipes on their platform, can essentially go and search for specific recipes on their profile, rather than having to just kind of scroll down and trying to find that recipe. So much improved search than before.
And you can also sort these in several ways. Like if you have, you can sort by relevance. I think the date published is interesting too, because then you can figure out how old something is. A lot of creators, self-included, we make multiple recipes of sort of our greatest hits, and then you can go back and figure out which one is the most recent too. So this really helps creators have their own searchable ecosystem right on their profile. There's so much potential to be unlocked with the search functionality. So we're really just scratching the surface of how we can best serve the people who come to the platform. We see that there could also be an expansion of this into what people would more normally think of as like an advanced search, and recognizing that this isn't necessarily finished. We had a work group on this just 2 hours ago where we took a test drive through it. Michelle was actually our test driver. We didn't even prep her. I'm sorry,
No.
Michelle.
No, it's good. It's good.
But it was
I'm
good
sure I
to,
passed.
I think Michelle, you'd probably agree. It was really helpful to see what was intuitive and what wasn't intuitive. So
Yeah.
this,
Yeah. There's so much potential. I love it. This is it'll be a game changer for creatives, for consumers, for everybody. So
yeah. So that's stuff that's coming up. I think a longer term view would be maybe coming up more in like a late Q2, Q3 timeframe, hopefully, would be doing an app. We've said that that's been on the roadmap for a long time. It continues to be on the roadmap, and something that is more and more relevant to our efforts here. So that should be coming up too. I think that's pretty much what we've got for Q2. There will be lots of other things, of course, but that's the big exciting stuff. The notifications, I'm extremely excited about. I think that's one of the missing pieces for us as creators, that our followers don't get notified of when we post new things. And again, that's something that we are going against the current with, and we're doing it different. Now I'd like to kick it over to Ali to talk about essentially opportunities for people to get involved.
Great. So, for anyone that doesn't know, I joined the FoodSocial team, I think officially last November, so it's been about 6 months. But I started just getting involved with little projects here and there. I worked on the food drive, I worked on the social media quite a bit. So we're really looking for people that are interested in participating in whatever way your like skill set can lend itself to. We have some opportunities in mind, like helping on the social media side. If you want to get more involved with that, that would be fantastic. Feel free to reach out to me and we can talk about that. But if there's other ways that you think that you could really deliver value and you want to be part of FoodSocial more in the way, like more than the way that you are now, definitely let us know. We'd love to talk to you and figure out how we can utilize your skills to really bring value to the FoodSocial community. So we're always looking to have more people, join our larger team and more day-to-day things. So please don't hesitate to reach out. But if you ever think of anything, yeah, we would love to chat with you.
There's always room for you here.
Definitely.
Okay. Now, we've had a lot of updates this time around. There's so much going on, which is amazing. Finally, the last thing that we want to talk about quickly is community growth. So as we've mentioned a few times, Tony and Bill have mentioned, growth is a really big factor for us this year. It always is, but this year we're really focused on growth. And we've changed the flow of when a creator joins FoodSocial now. So this is just for those of you who are reaching out to creators to join FoodSocial. Now creators sign up via the foodsocial.io/for-creators. Ali, if you don't mind dropping that in the chat. Thank you. They look at that link and they sign up through there, and then they join as a creator to begin with. And then once they upload their first 10 recipes, so sorry, rewind just a little. They join as creator, and then they immediately receive resources to teach them how to upload their own recipes and how to navigate the website. So they have those resources, they upload their first 10 recipes, and then they schedule a call with us to then have their status changed to featured creator. So this has been a really great way to just get people more engaged. When they're featured creators, they already know how to utilize the platform. And then our call with them, our onboarding call, if you will, is more community focused rather than teaching them how to use the platform itself. So it's been a great way to just get people introduced to FoodSocial. And we have a reward system that we've introduced this year as well. If you bring a creator onto the platform, so if you refer a creator, and now when creators and brands sign up, there's a little field where they can put how they heard about FoodSocial. So if you refer someone, then make sure that you tell them to put your name there, because once a creator hits 10 recipes that you've referred and their status is changed to featured creator, you both get $25 in your pocket. So they get it and you get it as well. And then when you refer a brand who signs up with FoodSocial, once they sign up, the brand gets their first month free on the platform and you get $100 in your pocket. So that's a way for you all to benefit from the growth that you're bringing to FoodSocial. And we all benefit anyway. We all gain more traffic when more creators come to the platform. It diversifies the platform. When brands come on board, that's another way to support the creators. And that also gives visibility to those brands as well. And it just enriches our community. So do you have any questions about that? Any questions? And you can always reach out to Ali or me if you have any questions about the referral program, or you need these links, or whatever it is. We're here to help, and we're just excited to see you all be so excited about these programs that we have this year and to see the growth that's happening. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, let's open up the floor. We covered a ton of stuff today. Massive props to everybody who briskly talked about their items on the agenda, but there were a lot of topics there and a lot of items. Is there any sort of initial feedback on anything that we talked about? anything you want to hear more about, or any suggestions that you have for ways that we can better serve you.
I missed the part when Pri was talking about all the, is that stuff new or is it up and running now? I'm sorry, I got a call.
The stuff that Dee was talking about with,
Pri. D, I'm sorry.
so that is not up and running yet. The PIT students are officially finished this week. It kind of looks like we might get a little follow-on help finishing those things up after they're formally done with the class. Pretty much everything needs a little bit of a design polishing to be ready for prime time and some testing. So I would say that there is a likelihood that those three features, the recipe recommendations at the bottom of recipes is pretty much ready. And so that one seems like it could essentially go live in the near future, I would say between 2 and 4 weeks. The notifications and site-wide and the search improvements are maybe just a little bit further ahead, where those might be more like a late May, June timeframe, just total guess. So they're currently in the development environment. If you have any feedback on what you saw today, Penny, it seems like maybe you were not able to look. I'm always available to show these sorts of things after the call. The replay will be available too on our foodsocial.io/TV page, where you can watch that as well. But we're always seeking feedback on things, and even when something is built and goes live on the live site, we're still seeking feedback. We want to improve and make everything work really well. So not yet, but soon is the short version. They're coming very soon. Yeah.
Any other questions or feedback? Remember, if you're available this Friday at 1 o'clock Eastern, we still have our happy hour this week. Think of a win that you want to share, or just come party with us. It's really chill. You can bring a snack or something to drink. We just hang out. So
My favorite part of those is that we all influence each other on things like favorite sparkling water of the week.
well, thank you all so much for joining us for this and for just being part of what we're building here. You are the heart and soul of what we do here at Food Social, and it's just such a privilege to work with each of you.